Okay, just want to go through what we did today. I handed this out, but if you don't have it, here it is. You can pause it and read through it. But we're making the candle, and the candle's got to fit inside this box. Okay, and each candle is on a base there, and it needs to be 1.5 centimeters wider. So that means that's going to be 1.5, and that's going to be 1.5. This is a possible design. So if you've got an example, then you can do the example. Okay, that's all good. And then it's showing it from above, which sort of makes it easier to see what's going on. And the top part of the cardboard base, so that's this part here, that's yellowish, will be painted, and the ribbon's going to go around the outside. So this is how we know what we need to do. We need to make two different candles. So we could use this one and then make up another one. We want to know how much candle wax they need. So that's basically the volume, isn't it? The space inside the candle, that's the volume. How much paint they need. So that's basically the area of this shape, which is going to be this area, take away this area, isn't it? How much ribbon? So that's the around the outside, so that's the perimeter. So in this case, it's a circle. So that's the circumference, right? So we need to just figure out what we need. What do we need? The volume of a cylinder. There's our formula there, which means pi times the radius squared times the height. We also need to know the area of the circle, pi times the radius squared, and we also need to know the circumference of a circle to find the length around the outside, pi times the diameter. So this is what we went through in class today. We need to figure out the box is 10 wide. Well, it's 10 by 10 in both directions because it's a square base. So the widest the base can be is going to be 10 wide. So that's going to be fully 10 in diameter. And then there needs to be 1.5 either side. So it's going to be 1.5 there, 1.5 there, which adds to make 3. So if we take that off of 10, we've got 7 left. So that means the base of the candle is going to be 7 wide. So that's the diameter of the candle. It's 7 centimeters. And the tallest it can be is 15, because that's how high the box is. So the height is 15. See how I've shown it here, but I've also written it down here just to make it super clear. If you're making diagrams in the test, it doesn't matter if they're messy. Like if this is messy, that's fine, because I can still see what you're doing over here anyway. And then, so we want the volume. We've got the volume there. We need the radius. If the diameter is 7, the radius is half of that. And then we need the height. So pi times 3.5 squared times 15. We know how to do that in the calculator. We round it to like 1 decimal is always good. You're not going to get not achieved if your rounding's a bit funny. Got to have the units there. It's centimeters cubed for volume. So we've got that. There's one tick. Volume. Done. Now this area is the area inside here. So it's this big circle, and then we're like cutting out the small circle. So we're taking it away. So the big circle, the radius is going to be 5, isn't it? Because all the way across here, that's 10. So the radius is half of that. Radius is 5. And the small circle is at the bottom of the candle, so 3.5. So we could do this all in one go. Area is pi times the radius squared. And that same small one, pi times the radius squared. That one minus that one, I can put that in my calculator all at once. 40.1 centimeters squared, because it's area. That's the area of the paint. There we go. Tick. Got a tick for area. And now the perimeter around the outside of the big circle, which is the one that has the radius of 5, which is the diameter of 10, because I'm finding the circumference. That's what the perimeter of the circle is. Pi times the diameter. So I need the diameter, not the radius. So it's pi times 10, which is 31.4 centimeters, and it's centimeters, and that's the length of the ribbon. Okay, and so if we've done that, basically if we've done something like that in the assessment, we've done volume, we've done area, we've done perimeter, we've done 3 different skills, that's enough to get us achieved. We don't have to do the whole thing. But we don't want to stop there. We need to do 2 designs, so we just want to make sure we're definitely getting those things right. And I've decided my second design, I'm going to make a square-based pyramid. So it's a pyramid, and the base is a square. So that means the cardboard around the bottom is also going to be square. So the cardboard's going to be 10 by 10. If there's 1.5 on that side, 1.5 on that side, that means this must be 7 again, and that length must be 7 as well. So that means the bottom of the candle is 7 by 7. So that's the base of the candle, and again, the height's going to be 15. See, you have to think of you have to make these up, but it's not really that hard because it's based on the size of the box, right? The box is 15 high, so it can't be higher than 15. So let's make it 15. So there's my dimensions there. It's 7 by 7 and the height is 15. And I've sort of said that there, even though my messy diagram's right there. And the volume of a pyramid, there it is there, 1/3 times the base area times the height. So this one, the base area is 7 times 7, which just happens to be 49, or 7 times 7 is there. The height is 15, so 1/3 times 7 times 7 times 15. 245 centimeters cubed. That's the volume of the candle. Easy, just like what we did before. So that's another tick for volume. Fantastic. Now, this area is going to be just like what we did before, where we had the big circle take away the small circle. So in this case now, it's going to be this part that's painted. So it's the big rectangle or square minus the small square, which is 10 by 10 minus 7 times 7, which is just 51 centimeters squared. Now this counts because this is what we call a composite area. We haven't, if you've just found the area of the big square and did nothing else, just finding the area of a square or a rectangle is not counting. But because I'm taking one from the other to find this sort of area in here, that counts. So this counts as an area thing. But down the bottom here now, when we find the ribbon of this particular bit where we're just adding up 10 4 times, that's just the perimeter of that square. That does not count, okay? Just the perimeter of a rectangle, or just the area of a rectangle, or just the volume of a cuboid, like if we found the volume of this box, that doesn't count as a skill if we're only doing that. So this is why if I only did this, I would need to do something else because I've only done 2 skills. But because I've already done 3 skills here, I'm all good. But I'm going to do as much as I can because I might have done something wrong here. Maybe I made a mistake on my volume calculation here, so I didn't get the volume tick, but I've done it correctly over here, so I've got it. So I'm all good. Okay. If I'm going to make another design, just because, you know, you could have done other things. I could have done a cone. And if I have a look here, what would be a cone? A cone's basically going to be the same as the cylinder because the base of the cone is a circle. So it's going to have a diameter of 7 and it's going to be the height of 15. And then there's my volume, 1/3 times pi times the radius squared times h. And then the base is going to be a circle. So this is pretty much going to be the exact same thing as the cylinder, except the volume is going to be different. I could also do a half sphere. Now a half sphere is a bit of a weird one as well. The base is going to be a circle. So again, it's going to be the same as this, the same as the cylinder. And because it's the diameter of 7, the radius is going to be 3.5. So that's only going to go 3.5 up. On a sphere, there's only one thing we can talk about, right? The radius or the diameter. So there we go. So we can find the volume. And again, this area and the circumference is going to be the same. So the answer for the area and the circumference for this and this is going to be exactly the same as what we did for the cylinder, because the base of a cone is a circle and the base of a sphere is a circle. If you're doing something that's a circle, it's kind of easier, right? It's easier to go this circle minus this circle. It's easier to figure that out than when we did it with the square in some way. Either way, 3 different skills. At the moment, we're just focusing on getting achieved. 3 different skills, and we've got achieved. All right.